Good morning, Top Fan Rivalry family. Welcome for another episode of Around the Diamond with Baseball Bill and Grand Slam Sam. This is the World Series edition, folks. Let me tell you, it is time. We have made it. We've gone through 162 games. We've gone through a wild card series, a division series, and a championship series. And the stage has officially been set, and we're going to get right into it. Baseball Bill, how are you doing on this fine morning of game two of the World Series?
Listen, that was something last night. So I'm doing great this morning. I'm wondering what the encore is going to be after last night. So
you
what can you
know,
say?
it was mind-boggling to watch that game last night. I was scared in the beginning. I was on my toes in the middle, and at the end, there was elation. I was just over the moon about it. But let's just jump right into it. We're gonna finish off, you know, some stuff that happened at the after our show last week. We're gonna talk about these division series. So the division series wrapped up, and we've got a winner, and it was Philly. Philly has been on this insane tear. They have literally let no one in their way stop them. They put a demolition on the Braves, and now they put a demolition on San Diego. They swept San Diego. Oh, they took 4 games in San Diego. I'm missing the fourth one. I'm sorry, Top Fan family. It's been a crazy morning for me, but they came in. They went 5 games and said, San Diego, say bye bye. Go back to the West Coast. The World Series is going to be handled on our turf. And Philly did it. They were miraculous through that entire thing. Bryce Harper was this year's NLCS MVP, which he rightfully deserved. He had 5 home runs. I think he's batting like a 400 batting average already to the postseason. It is just insane to look at his numbers. Bill, what was it about this series that just got you over the moon?
Fact that San Diego lost. I hate to say that for the San Diego fans, but I'm still licking my wounds from what you guys did to the Dodgers and the amount of celebrating you did and the amount of trash talk that you did against the Dodgers was awesome. But you guys, like the Dodgers, are officially in golf season now. So take that. That's what
Yes,
I got to
they
say about that series. Bryce Harper for governor of Pennsylvania right now, the way that he's playing.
he is just on a tear, and this whole team is on a tear right now.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the things I was worried about after this series and having a week off going into the World Series was, is this team going to slow down? And I think after last night, I think they proved that there is no slowing down on this team. They are just, pedal to the metal, foot to the floor, and floor it. I, so let's talk about this AL, Bill, because like what?
So AL was a little unique. The Gotham City got taken for a ride. Houston took the first game in Houston. They took the second game in Houston, although that one was close. The Yankees should have had that one. They come into the Bronx, and honestly, the Astros just manhandled them.
Mhm.
Game four is a unique game because the Bronx Bombers came out 3-love, and then Houston came back, and then they were up 5-4. Then an error at second base, error to second to short. And I got to tell you, errors in regular season when you have 162 games are a big deal, but they're not as big of a deal. This one actually created a situation that extended an inning. And in
Mhm.
addition to extending the inning, it then created an opportunity for Houston to score 2 runs. They effectively won that series, sweeping the Yankees. But you also have to realize that a lot of guys in this series were playing nervous. You could tell that they were playing nervous. There was an error in game 3 where Aaron Judge took a center fielder's ball away, and the center fielder ended up dropping the ball, extended the inning. They scored. Houston scored. Almost identical situation earlier in the inning where Giancarlo Stanton tried to take a ball away from the center fielder. Honestly, Boehner was
Mhm.
awesome offensively, but he's not Stanton, he's not Judge, and for some reason those two guys were trying to play a scenario where they were like Kelly Leak uh in Bad News Bears, where he was just going to take everything. Buttermaker said, "Take everything," so he was trying to take. They were trying to take everything. It was terrible. The Yankees, for as amount of wins that they had, and for as good as the team that they were, they did not show up for the series. It was so sad.
It I couldn't agree more with you. I was greatly disappointed. I was hoping this was going to be a 7-game series. You
Yeah,
had the two number one teams in the American League. Easily next to the Dodgers, two of the best teams in baseball throughout the entire season. And in my opinion, New York just failed to show up and even put out a fight.
yeah,
They had one game that went 18 innings, which was a dogfight. Let me tell you, I didn't even know. Like, literally, I guess we saw a 5-game series in four, but really, it wasn't as exciting as I would hope it was. And this MVP on the American League Championship Series was Jeremy Pena, correct, from Houston?
yeah, yeah. Jeremy, the rookie, Jeremy. I swear I don't even look 21, but I'm 25 apparently. Pena. I mean, that guy, if he continues to look like this, he's going to get carted until he's 40 when he goes in to buy beer.
Yes, I have a feeling. I have a feeling he will be another one that we will be seeing a Mega Million contract within the next couple of years come his way.
Oh yeah, he looked
And
great.
yeah, he looks phenomenal, and he is someone that's going to deserve every single penny of. And it was congratulations to Houston. Some other highlights on it is Houston is not on up until this after the series. Houston have won 7 straight postseason games. They have also made it to the postseason or to the American League Championship Series 7 straight consecutive years, having won it now twice in those 7 years. So Houston, you deserve that. Congratulations. You deserve the praise. You just dominated the American League, and congratulations on that championship. But now it's time. Now it's the one thing we've all been waiting for all year as baseball fans. We're in the World Series. We're here. I couldn't be happier. And in honor of last night, I'm putting the savior behind me. He's on my shoulders.
Yeah, yeah. JT Realmuto.
I,
Yeah.
I mean, Bill, what were your thoughts after seeing this game?
Well, I actually watched the first couple of innings, went upstairs, did some stuff when Houston went up 5-0. Now, by the way, I got to tell you, all love to Kyle Tucker. Man, that guy, have a night, kid, have a night. That, yeah, 2 home runs, another base hit. He looked so comfortable. One of the groundouts that he had was like a BB. Like he
Mhm.
looked so comfortable at the plate. It was almost like we were playing coach pitch and he was watching his daddy pitch to him. I
Yeah.
mean, he was just having a night. But when you watch a game and you're up 5-0, you got to hold on to some stuff. And unfortunately, they didn't. They didn't hold on to that lead. So you in the second, Houston scored 2. The third, Houston scored 3. In the fourth, Philly scored 3. In the fifth, Philly scored 2. So you got to have shutdown innings. When you score, you have to have shutdown innings. We've talked about this, and unfortunately, Houston just couldn't do that last night. And there's a number of
I,
things I'm sure we'll break down.
100%. And I agree. Looking at this game, Philly Philly came in, I think, in the beginning of the game a little bit nervous. You know, finally making it to the postseason. I think next to Schwarber, no one on this team had seen a World Series. Next to Schwarber, this was a completely fresh team to the World Series. Schwarber
Yeah,
is the only one that had been there previously.
yeah.
So I think, those first 4 innings. Oh no, Nola's been there also, hasn't he?
Possibly, but I think Schwarber.
I think, yeah, I think he was like Nola. I think was in like his first or second year when they last won it. So it's kind of like one of those like real early wins. But it's been so much time if he has been there, top fans, that he's basically a rookie. know? you if you've been there within 3-4 years, okay, it's fresh. After 5 years, you lose track of what you're feeling in that environment. And I think that initial environment was just so so hard for them to come to grips with. Nola was kind of struggling in those first couple of innings, really just wasn't finding his rhythm. Gave up the 2 home runs to Kyle Tucker. And then that team cooled down and said, okay, shutdown mode. Let's go. I,
Yeah,
I thought the bullpen, I thought Philly's bullpen last night was unreal. Just unreal.
they were. They were. And you had Suarez come in, who's a starter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and John Smoltz broke that down too on how that plays itself out. Um, you know, John Smoltz broke down, hey, listen, even though it's a day where you work out, you're not facing live hitting, you're not looking for velocity, you're just looking for pitch locations. So he broke that
Yep.
down as good as you can get it.
Oh yeah, and it was nice to see everyone kind of come together, especially for the Phillies at the end of that, and just really say, okay, we got this. We've had a little bit of struggles here and there.
Yeah,
What do you think of Verlander though? How do you think he recovered? How do you think he kind of handled that comeback?
you're
You know,
I have a special place in my heart for this question because everybody's always talking about Clayton Kershaw and he's phenomenal, but in the postseason, he's terrible. He's terrible in the postseason. He's terrible in the postseason. He's at blah 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 blah. Right? Everybody talks about how they love Verlander and how awesome Verlander is. Let's talk about Verlander's record in the World Series, right? He's 0-6 with almost a 6-point ERA. Last night didn't help him. And so,
no,
you know,
no.
he came out trying to get the monkey off his back. And honestly, for 3 innings, he looked like the Justin Verlander of old. He was phenomenal, right? He did everything
Mhm.
right. But man, the fourth and fifth inning, and he just couldn't bounce it. So for me, my passion lies in the fact that you want to rip Clayton Kershaw a new one, fine. You better rip Justin Verlander too. It's all fair. It's all fair in love and war. It's like when we're sitting here watching TV, right? And they're talking about the US Congress. If you're gonna rip one side, you got to rip the other.
Yeah,
It's just
no,
got to
you're a
be the way
thousand
it
percent
rolls.
right. Yeah,
Y-
and
y-
and top fans, I think I can speak for Bill on this. We don't like to talk politics here, but we will make some references and comparisons when necessary.
Hell yeah.
Um,
The funny thing is, you know what the funny thing is, Sam, about this is they're both first ballot Hall of Famers.
hundred
So,
percent, hundred
you
percent.
know, Verlander's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Kershaw's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. They have their struggles in October. So I want
And
people that have never played professional baseball and or played in October professional baseball. I want them to tell me, gee, what's so different? You have 65,000 people either cheering for you or booing you. Combine that with 10 million watching you on TV, and
mhm.
you know that, and you're going to tell me that you're not nervous? Oh, brother, please. I mean,
Everyone, this is my dog. She just wants so much attention. She's popping up at the bottom of the screen. Oh
yeah,
hi. No, but you're 1,000% right. And you know what? I want to flip that. I want to flip that also on a second question. I'm going to take a great postseason pitcher right now and
okay.
compare him to how he does in the regular season. Look, you know, look, I'm a Giants fan. Top fans, you know that. Bill, you know that better than anyone else. Let's look at Madison Bumgarner. I don't think there is anyone right now that could realistically touch Madison Bumgarner's postseason resume. His postseason resume is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's got like a 0.75 postseason career ERA. He's pitched a total of like 70 innings. He's given up, I think, cumulatively somewhere in the range of like 35 strikeouts. Like his postseason record is Hall of Fame worthy just on its own. But now let's take that and let's add it into his regular season record. I
Especially
wouldn't put him
recently.
in the Hall of Fame on a regular season record, even if you paid me $1 million. I wouldn't. There's no question. And I love Bumgarner. Have his jersey. Would love to meet the man. I'd go ride a horse with him. I'd go out on his farm. But he's not, you know, you can have a great one way or a great the other way. But if you're going to be great one way, you're going to get hit going the other way. Similar to Kershaw and Verlander. They're great regular season. You can't touch their regular season record with a 10-foot pole. They're guaranteed first ballot Hall of Fame. Yeah. But if you add that postseason record in, it throws a monkey wrench in everything.
Well, Mad Bum, to your point, Mad Bum is going to go in the Hall of Very Good. He probably will not make the Hall of Fame unless he comes out with 2 or 3 seasons where he wins 18 to 20 games in these next couple of years, and the velocity just isn't there as much. I mean, people get older, but what he did in KC against KC in that World Series. But top fans, because I know Sam, I'm going to ask him a question, and I'm going to test his Mad Bum love. Okay. Now write this down, top fans. You heard this here. This aired on October 29th, 2022. Sammy, you can only meet one person out of these two and hang out with them for a day. Madison Bumgarner or Adam Sandler? Who are you hanging out with?
Oh, Adam Sandler.
So the love and the jersey only goes so deep, boys and girls. Doesn't matter.
You know what it is? You know what it is? And I can tell you this.
Go.
I've been a fan of Adam Sandler since I was 11.
Yep.
When I was 11, Bumgarner was like 4. You know, he wasn't pitching. He wasn't who he is now. You know, I've been following Adam Sandler's movies since he was still doing SNL. He was still doing stand-up. And now he's going back to stand-up. And at the same time, yeah, but, you know, spending a day with Bumgarner would be unfreaking believable. But I'm not going to laugh as much in my life as I would hanging out with Adam Sandler for a day. There's no question about that.
Depends. If you ask him questions about Yasiel Puig, you might get some good laughs in.
I don't know. I'll either get some laughs or I might get punched in the face for bringing up the guy he hates the most on the planet.
And then I'll get some laughs in. All right. So go back to the World Series real quick. Let me say this one thing. And Sam, it's so sad that we have to say this, but even Fox said it last night. They talked about the 2017 World Series and how, you know, MLB sanctioned them and blah, 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 blah. Houston's got this monkey on their back. Okay. You must, if you are Houston, you must play a squeaky clean series. You have to play, and Jose Altuve, Jeremy Pena, these guys all play squeaky clean. You know, they're all good guys. Yordan Alvarez are all good guys. What I saw from Diaz last night, though, is not representative of the Astros. He got hit with the pitch, but the pitch beforehand he leaned into, didn't get hit, but he leaned into, which, by the way, was a strike. Robertson was saying, hey, isn't that a strike? Then he gets hit again, but he leaned into it. He put his elbow out there. Guys, if you want the rest of the country to hate you forever, play a dirty series. Okay?
Yes.
And I'm going to bet something. I don't know, but I'm going to bet that in the clubhouse last night, somebody like a leader like Altuve or even Dusty Baker probably took him aside and says, we don't do that. If you don't want to be up at bat, then I won't put you up at bat. But you never do that again. We have to play a squeaky
Hmm.
clean series.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there. I think, you know, since 2017, they've been they've been the redheaded stepchild since 2017. They really have in baseball. There's no
Since
question about it.
2019, since it came out in 2019.
Since 2019 when it came out, they've been the redheaded stepchild.
Right.
And Dusty Baker and Altuve and Verlander have put in the time, the effort, the everything, the energy with the team, this team, specifically this year, to say, we're going to do everything right. We're going to show them we deserve to be there and that 2017 wasn't a fluke. No
Mhm.
question. That's what they busted their ass this year to do. They went and made good trades. Dusty Baker has coached an excellent team. And I have my own personal issues with Dusty, but I'd love to see him actually win it without having an asterisk next to it. What you couldn't have said any better last night. What Diaz did last night basically put all of the effort and all the time that these leaders have put in to the entire thing and basically said, you made us all look like fools. You did. And if I was Dusty, I might bench them. I might bench Diaz for the next two
Well,
games.
no. Diaz isn't playing the rest of the series if I'm Dusty. I mean, he's
I
batting .71 when he came in. But I mean, listen, Jeremy Pena, phenomenal. Phenomenal.
great.
We're going to hear that name for 20 years. He's going
Yep.
to be like a J-Rod. We're going to hear a lot about him. Jeremy Pena, Jose Altuve. As much as I have my issues with Jose Altuve with the whole buzzer thing, I don't care. He plays the game right. Jordan
Yep.
Alvarez, JV, Justin Verlander, right? These guys play, even the guy Garcia that rocks the baby to sleep and does a dance before he pitches. These guys all play the game right. What Diaz did yesterday was was not indicative of what these guys do. And that's what
100%.
frustrated the shit out of me last night. And I know you and I
Yep.
were texting about it last night because
Yeah.
I was ready to throw something on my TV screen.
Oh my God. I was so flustered after seeing that. And knowing how much effort and time these guys have put in to get to this point and to have that be the first red mark for them in this series, the rest of the series better be as clean as a brand new baseball coming out of its packaging. But let's
Yep.
look, as we're talking about the rest of the series, let's look at what the schedule looks like.
Yep.
You know, right now Philly's leading. It's a 1-0 record. This series right now, if Philly wins out, could end in Philly by Wednesday.
Yep.
We would see November baseball. We're going to see November baseball no matter what. But what do you think is going to happen with the rest of the series, real quick? Do you think we're going to see 7 games after last night, seeing Philly come back? Do you think we got a 7-game series, or do you think we might have it shorter?
You know, I if you listen to the podcast with the Fandemic crew, they think and they have some of the most rowdy, like passionate fans, which is great. I Houston needs to win tonight. They cannot go down 2-0. If they go down
And
two
go back to
nothing,
Philly.
there's no chance that they're going back to Houston. Um,
Yeah, I don't
I
think
just
so either.
You're not going to take 2 out of 3 in Houston. I mean in Philly. So you've got to do it. So you got to tonight's a must win game. Now, if you win
100%.
tonight, you could take 2 out of 3 and or Philly could take 2 out of 3 and then you're back
Yep.
for game, 6 and who knows in game 7 and the weather will be a factor for games 3, 4 and 5, right? It won't be for 6 and 7 because you got a roof.
Right. But as you mentioned, the weather, real quick, it is cold right now here in the Northeast. And Houston is not accustomed to playing in cold weather. So I agree. I think you're right. This game tonight at 8:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:03 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Apologize for not providing the Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
Is do or die. It's do or die. Because I think if they lose, Philly's winning the next 2 games, and it's ending by Wednesday. I do. I think there's no question if Philly wins tonight, the series will be over by Wednesday. That's my prediction.
There,
My prediction.
there was a very
Latest
sad
Thursday.
there was a very sad stat that's been flying around the internet, and I don't like to trample on a person's grave. I really don't, so to speak. Right? When you lose a game, you lose a game, right? But there was a stat that said there's only been 2 managers in all of baseball history that have given up 5-run leads in the World Series. Do you know who they are?
Who?
Dusty Baker in 2002 and Dusty Baker in 2022. So, I mean,
2002
literally,
haunts me. Don't mention 2002.
sorry,
That haunts me.
but it's just, I mean, it's sad. So, to your point, if Philly wins tonight, advantage Philly. Philly's now got home field advantage, anyways. So, it's advantage Philly,
Mhm.
anyways. But Houston is the most consistent team in the playoffs. Do not count them out. Period.
And you know what? That's why I said I'm not counting them out. But on to your point, tonight is do or die. It's
Yeah.
do or die.
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
question. So,
Absolutely.
let's take a step back from World Series baseball. As much as we
Yeah.
could talk about this, because you and I could talk about this for hours.
Forever.
I could literally talk about last night's game, dissecting it play by play, until tonight's game. But
Listen,
as we
we
look,
could talk about this. I'm like Stevie Wonder. Like I could be talking about something after I get an award until the credits are rolling. Okay, so it doesn't
yeah.
matter. Go ahead, tell me about this.
So let's look at what's coming up this week on the Top Fan Rivalry podcast. We got some great podcasts, and this is not even including the lives that we're going to be putting on this week. Bill and I have got some great ideas for some lives we're going to be throwing on this week. We're going to be bringing on some great guests, so definitely keep a lookout for those. But Bill, who you got?
So
Who's coming to the
Devin's a
clubhouse?
Devin's a Pirates fan. He's phenomenal. Jason's a Yankees fan. Jason's been on before. He's gonna break down the series for us. I'm actually meeting with him on Monday, so we'll have one more game in the series, right? Which is great. Mikey, you've seen before. He'll probably be on this week, and Sal, who is a not only a Giants fan, but he is a groundskeeper at the ballpark too, and he is got some phenomenal stories, and he's just going to unleash some of those stories on us. So it'll be exciting times.
I can't wait to listen to these. They're going to be awesome, and I can't wait to meet Sal. We're going to prep. We're going to have a great podcast, Sal, myself, and a couple of other good Giants fans after the season. So top fans, keep a lookout for that. And then, but as
I still can't
you know,
believe I heard
always
good and Giants in the same sentence.
I know. Well, next year it'll be all different because we got some fun stuff to talk about like how Aaron Judge has already stopped following the Yankees.
Yeah.
On Twitter and Instagram, and how a Yankees beat writer has already proclaimed he's coming to San Francisco. But top fans,
let me talk about this real quick because
Bill, you talk. I want to hear your beautiful.
We've got 60 seconds left on this, everybody, and I want to tell you about this. So, obviously, you can go to the Top Fan Team store and get any type of merchandise that you want. We got hats, we got shirts, we got cozies. There's a lot of fun stuff coming out. There's more colors of hats coming out. We're going to have some promotions going on. Will allow you to get discounts and things like that. But we talked about the Founders Club last week. If you go onto the website and you hit Locker Room Access and you purchase a Locker Room Access currently, which is $36 for the year, not only are you going to get early bird specials and discounts sent to you via email for all Top Fan merchandise, for private lives that we're going to do and different things like that we'll be doing in the off season. But that price will never change year over year. So you'll never have to worry. 30 years from now, you can be paying $36 and not even have to worry about it, which is phenomenal. So top fans, go onto the locker room, get yourself some locker room access because that's where all the fun stuff's going to be in this off season, and you're not going to want to miss
it. 1,000%. I'm already a Founders Club member. I'm ecstatic about it. I've got early bird access into Founders Club, and it's going to be great. So, top fans, make sure you follow Bill at TopFanRivalry.com, Top Fan Rivalry on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you follow me at Grand_Slam Sam on Instagram and Twitter. We have great stuff coming out this entire week. I'm Bill. It's always a pleasure seeing you on a bright, beautiful Saturday morning. It always brightens up my day.
Hey, let's
it's
do it
always a
again.
great start. Hey,
Let's
how
let's do
about
it again. Maybe next week.
how's I was gonna say how's next Saturday? Does that
Sounds
work
good.
for you?
Let's do it.
We
Top
might be
fans,
doing
we'll
a
see you soon.
recap.
Yeah, exactly.
See you
Top
on the
fans, we'll
field.
see you soon.